The person who hit snooze this morning wasn't really you. It was the part of you Marcus Aurelius warned about, the part that says, I need more sleep, I'll start later. He called it your animal self, and every time you obey it, you surrender the throne of your own mind. Because the truth is this: laziness isn't a lack of energy, it's a lack of clarity, a fog that creeps in the moment you open your eyes. And the Stoics had rules to burn that fog away before it turned into another wasted day. They didn't call it motivation, they called it self-command, the art of mastering yourself before the world gets its hands on you. Here are the 4 Stoic morning laws to kill your weak self before it wakes up. Law 1. The moment of choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being." He wasn't writing poetry, he was describing the first battle of the day. The moment your alarm rings, there's a tiny silence, a pause, where 2 voices fight for control. The first says, 5 more minutes won't hurt. The second says, stand up, begin. That pause, that's the arena. The Stoics called it the moment of choice, the split second where your entire day is decided. Epictetus said it like a sword strike. You control your mind, not outside events. But here's what most people miss. That control doesn't start at the boardroom or the gym. It starts at 6 a.m., in bed, in the dark, when nobody's watching. The Stoic practice? Move before the mind starts arguing. When the alarm sounds, rise immediately. Don't give your thoughts time to build a courtroom of excuses. The first act of the day must be obedience to reason, not comfort. Every time you obey reason instead of impulse, you forge the muscle Marcus called the ruling principle. This is how you begin to lead yourself. Law 2. The discipline of the ordinary. Seneca said, cease to hope and you will cease to fear. What he meant was, stop waiting for special moments to start living with excellence. Your morning isn't a rehearsal, it's life itself. When you brush your teeth, make your bed, prepare your breakfast, you're not getting ready. You're training the mind to treat the ordinary as sacred. The Stoics had no time for chaos. Their mornings were rituals, precise, deliberate, unhurried, because they knew, if you can't command the small, you'll crumble before the great. So here's your practice. Choose 3 morning actions. Perform them in the same order every day, with total attention. No distractions, no rushing, no negotiations. Pour your coffee like a ceremony. Make your bed like you're preparing for battle. Walk through your morning like a Stoic monk walking through the ruins of Rome, calm, disciplined, aware. You're not getting through the morning. You're building the character that will carry you through the war of the day. Law 3. Seek the hard thing. The Stoics didn't chase comfort. They chased control. They practiced voluntary discomfort on purpose. They walked barefoot in winter. They slept on hard floors. They fasted, not to punish the body, but to free the mind. Seneca said, set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest fare and roughest clothing, saying to yourself the whole time, is this the condition I feared? Because the Stoic understood, fear lives in avoidance, and the only cure for fear is contact. So every morning, do the thing you don't want to do. Cold shower, workout, difficult email, 20 minutes of silence without your phone. It doesn't matter what it is, it matters that you face it. The first act of the warrior isn't to fight the enemy, it's to conquer the self that wants to run. And here's the secret. Once you've faced the hard thing before sunrise, the world can't intimidate you. The Stoics didn't wait for life to test them. They tested themselves every dawn, and that's why nothing broke them. Law 4. Embody the Logos. The Stoics had a word, logos. It means the reason that governs all things. To live according to the Logos was to align your life with nature, with order, with discipline. Most people live reactively, pushed around by moods, by emails, by noise. But when you live by the Logos, you don't react to the day, you direct it. The first 3 laws are your training. This 4th one is transformation. At first, you practice, you follow the routine, you push yourself to rise early, to move fast, to stay still. It feels mechanical, forced, maybe even fake. But something happens around day 40. You stop doing Stoicism and you start being Stoic. The morning doesn't resist you anymore. Your mind stops negotiating. You wake up and motion happens without thought. That's the moment Marcus called living in accordance with nature. When effort turns into instinct, when discipline becomes identity, You're not pretending to be strong, you simply are. The final choice now, tomorrow morning, that alarm will ring again, and you'll have two paths. Path 1, you hit snooze. You delay, you scroll, you tell yourself it's fine, you'll start next week. That's the path of the animal self, the one Marcus warned you about. It feels easy, but it leads to regret, softness, and self-betrayal. Path 2, you remember this moment. You remember Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus, and the thousands of mornings they faced without excuses. You rise in 5 seconds. You begin your ritual. You face the hard thing. You act as if you've already become the person you want to be. And in that act, you already have. Because as the Stoics taught, tomorrow's virtue is born from today's action. You don't need motivation. You need motion. You don't need to wait for inspiration. You need to begin. When the sun rises tomorrow, so should you. Not because you have to, but because you can. That's what it means to live stoically. That's how you end laziness. That's how you become the master of yourself. Your new life doesn't start someday. It starts at dawn. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius.